sculpted lines, impressive hardware, aggressive stance. It can only mean one thing. 'Tis the season to get out and tailgate. Right now at every Bob Johnson, buy any new or used truck, we'll throw in a Mafia-ready folding table absolutely free. Bob Johnson, this is where the savings are.
Bob Johnson.
And now, another Rock Sports Network presentation.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Rock Sports Network Golden Eagles Game of the Week here, brought to you by Bob Johnson Auto Group. I'm Ryan Lasel. Joining me, as always, Mario Granata. We're here for the 19th annual Courage Bowl as Brockport set to take on the St. John Fisher Cardinals here at Eunice Kennedy Shriver Stadium. Golden Eagles sitting at 2-1 on the season. Their lone loss coming in a nail-biter to number 11 Susquehanna. And I'll tell you, Mario, 2 weeks ago, Susquehanna gave the defending national champ Portland Red Dragon everything they could handle in that football game. Brockport, if that's the lone loss on the season as they head into that Cortland matchup, that's going to be a highly sought-after matchup across the nation. Brockport starting Empire 8 play here today with the Courage Bowl against the St. John Fisher Cardinals. Cardinals sitting at 1-2, and Mario, tough loss for that team last week against Wilkes. Brockport played Wilkes 2 weeks ago. St. John Fisher got Wilkes last week, up 21-0, and kind of the wheels fell off at that point.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, losing a 21-0 lead at halftime and then ending the game on with a minute left, under a minute left with a pick six, losing 28-21. But the biggest news, if y'all missed the pregame, Jalen Brantley, the field stretcher for St. John Fisher, their leading receiver, broke his collarbone Thursday. He will not be playing in this game, obviously, so something to watch out for as this Fisher offense takes the field.
We're going to go ahead and take a break here as it lets you watch as the Brockport ROTC brings the colors to the center of the field, and they'll do the national anthem. Once that's over, we're going to have wall-to-wall coverage here as the Rock Sports Network Golden Eagles Game of the Week, brought to you by Bob Johnson Auto Group. welcome back here as the captains are ready to head out to the midfield for the coin toss. Captains for Brockport. From left to right, number 6, Ben Robinson, 23, Gino Fontana Rosa. New captain this week, number 1, that's Brian Caldwell Jr. And of course, the graduate 5th year, Kyle Hadich, number 22, sealed that Wilkes game last week with the pick 6 that went about 93 yards going the other way. Brockport and Fisher both have some honorary captains this week, of course, as it is the Courage Bowl week, the 19th annual Courage Bowl. They're playing for the Teddy Trophy. Teddy Trophy named after the Camp Good Days founder's daughter, who Camp Good Days was founded for. So they're always looking forward to playing for that. Honorary captains as well as some honorary cheerleaders from Camp Good Days on both sides of the field this week. Always a special opportunity. Thursday they did luncheon for Camp Good Days. A lot of pictures of the team and the coaches out there enjoying their time with the campers. And we're going to have coverage here as soon as the game gets rolling here. Mario, let's talk offensively for the Golden Eagles. Fontana Rosa, back 2 weeks ago against Wilkes. He got some carries late in the game. Obviously working him back in, but after the bye week, are you expecting more of Gino, maybe displacing Cam Mesh as that guy behind Isaiah Simmons this week?
Oh, absolutely. The senior who runs like the ground knows some money. I think he's going to be worked in early and often here. Simmons obviously has been the workhorse early in the season for the Brockport Golden Eagles. And then Mesh is going to get some carries, I think, around, the third or fourth quarter, because he likes to get all those guys, just in case of injury, he likes to get all those guys some real live time work. And like I said in the pregame, Ryan, this is the kind of game where you can have 3 guys go for close to 100. So we'll have to see what state of mind Fisher's at after that brutal loss last week.
So Fisher won the toss. They did defer. Brockport will receive the ball to open this football game. Ben Gasella and this Brockport offense looking to keep it rolling. They seem to really find their stride in the passing game 2 weeks ago against Wilkes after their struggles in Susquehanna. Seemed to turn the corner a little bit in that second half of Susquehanna. Since then, it's been 6 pretty good quarters for this offense. And, again, Mario talked about it during the pregame, different attack this week, or this season than what we've seen in the past.
Absolutely.
From Coach Mangoni, calling a lot of passes. Ben Gasella kind of flinging the ball all over the field.
Yes.
But Ben Gasella's a different quarterback than we've seen at Brockport, too. He's not that dual threat, and that's where you see guys step in for Brockport like Ethan Catalio that come in and run that football.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, and the one thing is, too, don't be surprised if, Mangoni wants to come out early with Gasella and maybe throw those quick screens or those routes that get the quarterback into the game and get him in rhythm. So, conversely, it could be a continuation of they had a bye week. What do they want to do offensively? Do they want to try to run the ball? Do they want to try to pass? Could Gasella throw 40 times today? I don't know. He could. And, maybe we'll see a couple new wrinkles to this offense. But what we've seen out of Mangoni in the past is he loves to run the ball with multiple players. And then that complements Mike Fox's blitzing, wreak havoc defense on the other side.
So Brockport. Brockport set to return the kick here and back to receive for Brockport. Number 2, that's going to be Elijah Grooms, and number 15, that's going to be Daniel Manna. Fisher set to kick it away here. Kyle Farewell, who's also their punter, gets kickoff duties. Open this one. A little pooch kick there, and that's going to get fielded by Cam Mesh, the up back. Mesh is going to work his way to the left. He's across the 35, out to the 40, finally tripped up and brought down. That's number 21 for Fisher on the tackle, Trent Hill, who's in there on special teams. And they're going to mark him down at about the 45-yard line after he falls forward. So that's where this Brockport offense is going to get rolling here. Ben Gasella at quarterback. And Isaiah Simmons going to get the nod, of course, at the running back position. Simmons having a really solid sophomore season.
Absolutely. And one of the names you're going to be hearing quite a bit on the St. John Fisher side, number 33 middle linebacker, Joe Messia, 6'3" graduate. He may be 6'4", Ryan. I was down on the field pregame. That's a big boy.
As big as you?
Almost. Not quite.
Casella, he's going to give it to Simmons up the middle. Simmons, a lot of room to start here. He's going to get right across midfield to the 49-yard line. So 6-yard pickup for Simmons to start this game. Big Joe Mott's in there, number 44 at the fullback position.
Yeah, Fisher on the year have surrendered about 450 yards a game defensively, so they're used to getting the ball moving.
So they're going to let him throw here. He's looking for Caldwell, and he's got Caldwell right across the middle, hit him right in the chest, and Caldwell, he wants that one back for sure. That was a great throw by Casella there, and Caldwell just took his eyes off it.
Right. I think he knocked the one off.
Motts and Mana check out. Checking in Lamage and Goddard. Goddard, that big tight end target that likes to run those seam routes. 3rd and 4 here for Brockport, trying to extend their opening drive early in the first quarter.
Just over midfield.
Simmons motions to his right. They're going to give it to Simmons. He's going to come across the left-hand side. Oh, he's tripped up in the back row. What a tackle. What an open field tackle there. That's Jaquan Davis from his linebacker position. And that Brockport offense, after a 6-yard pickup on first down, stalls. And they're going to have to punt it away here early.
Yeah, St. John Fisher coming out in the cover 2. They didn't blitz. They didn't really apply much pressure to Brockport on their first set of downs. They just basically played in their base. And then you get a drop pass, you get a tackle for loss, and now you're giving the ball away.
So on to punt, Dan Giangrasso. He's got a cannon for a leg. He's probably going to have to take a little bit off on this one. And he's going to bring out the 9-iron here. Giangrasso, good punt there. It's going to go out of bounds. Actually shanked that a little bit. Looked good to start, but went out of bounds pretty quick. And that's going to come all the way up to the 28-yard line is where they're going to mark this one. And that's where we're going to get our first look at Ryan Whitney in this St. John Fisher Cardinals attack. Mario, plan of attack here for the offense for Fisher.
Well, I mean, you take the number 1 weapon away. Who's going to be the number 1? Who's going to be the field stretcher? Or so that may sneak up on Brockport, but I mean Brockport plays such a fundamental defense and attacking defense. You have 2 running backs that rush for over 5 yards a carry. How will the loss of the number 1 wideout impact that? So I think they're going to try to run early and run often.
Peyton Nolan in at running back to the right of Whitney here to start. Send the man in motion. And it's going to go fake it to Whitney, or Nolan, and Whitney's going to keep it. Whitney's met. That's Daywin Fanner who comes up and introduces himself to start the game. Good tackle for no gain on the play there. And Daywin Fanner up from his outside linebacker position.
You know, they used to say quite a bit, you know, you want to get into the game as a quarterback. Some quarterbacks need to get hit. I don't think he meant that, if that was one of his.
2nd and 10 here for Fisher. Nolan behind Whitney. And this one's going right to Nolan and up the middle, and nothing doing there. Well, about 2 yards on the carry for him. Mike Talbert in, as well as Ben Robinson. Expect to hear those 2 names early and often here for Brockport. Talbert and Robinson, the 2 middle linebackers, and Kyle Haddich on the back end. Names you're going to hear a lot today. 3rd and 8 here for Fisher. They're looking to be the first today to convert a 3rd down. Brockport 0-1 on their opening drive.
This is where Fox likes to hunt. Mike Talbert in the middle of your screen.
Right up the middle. They only rush 4. They're going to throw. He's got a man out there, and that's caught. Number 1 on the catch there. Number 4 on the catch, actually. Evan DeLutis. Pre-game, Mario, we talked about him as the chain mover.
Yeah.
Lived up to that moniker today, early at least.
Absolutely.
At the 46-yard line.
They had number 80, Jackson Cusack, sophomore, 6'1", run that out route, and then they had him come in right behind it.
So trying to run zone defense there. We'll see if they switch it up next 3rd down. Brockport. Whitney still with Nolan. Nolan's going to go in motion. Whitney takes a snap. Here comes some pressure up the middle, and he's going to run for it. He's across midfield, and he slides. And they're going to mark him at the 47-yard line, so it's going to bring up 2nd and 3 here for St. John Fisher.
You know, and this isn't really new for St. John Fisher. I mean, they're averaging 400 yards a game, they're averaging 21 points a game, and more importantly, they're averaging 35 minutes of time of possession a game. So they're used to having the ball and having these sustained drives. The problem is they've only been in the red zone 9 times. So we'll see if they can finish this drive in the end zone.
2nd and 4 here, and Nolan goes in motion, slips, but back set. He's gonna get the handoff. Oh no, they're gonna pull it. Whitney keeps it, and Nolan took a shot. That was number 44, Luca Friedman, who gave Nolan a lick, but Whitney kept it.
Ryan Whitney on the quarterback keeper.
What a fake there, Mario. Not often. I get confused. Fake.
It'll be first down at 10.
Yeah, he pulled it very late. Those are one of the ones that could be fumbles, you know, later in the game sometimes. But he pulled it, made a good read, and got the first down.
So Cam Chance checks into the game, and Whitney rolls to his right, pressures, throws over the middle, and harmlessly to the turf. That was a dangerous throw there. Number 23 from Brockport, Jameer Clark was roaming a little bit, but a lot of pressure from Ben Robinson coming in the face of Whitney.
Second down at 10.
Brings up 2nd and 10 here, 10:04 left.
Yeah, looking for James Kennedy on that as tight end. But the thing about it is, too, as you said, that Peyton, or Nolan rather, took that shot. Chance is about the same size, same height, same weight, so you don't have to switch up much of your game plan if one of those guys happen to go out.
Too wide, very wide for Fisher at the bottom of the formation here, and a double tight end set, and they're going to give it to Chance. Chance slips and falls. Turf Monster rearing its ugly head early here against Fisher. Nolan slipped in a pre-snap motion, and Chance goes down behind the line of scrimmage on that one. This is going to bring up 3rd and 12 here for the Fisher Cardinals. Brockport looking to get a 3rd down stop here. Fisher 1 for 1 on this drive so far on 3rd down. And they bring out a 3-wide set with a tight end on the right side of the formation. Chance still in. He's going to motion out empty backfield here for Whitney. He looks to throw, some pressure up the middle. He's going to throw deep. He's got a man down there, and good coverage. Incomplete. Good coverage there. Marquise Wright rather, in coverage, and that was intended for number 80, Jackson Cusack. And Cusack in, as we mentioned, Brantley out today, and it looks like they were just trying to do the field stretch with.
And point of note to bring up as well, the field goal kicker for St. John Fisher, 0 for 4 on that. So if they happen to have gotten close or gotten another first down, I think they probably would have considered themselves playing Brockport in 4-down territory if they get across the field.
Cam Nash back to return. Of course, Daniel Monet 3 weeks ago was the Empire 8 Special Teams Player of the Week. 2 weeks ago against Wilkes had a costly fumble. So Mesh is returning now. Oh, it looks like that one almost got blocked. Bad kick there. It's going to take a Fisher bounce, though. Nice bounce right along the sideline. The football doing the old toe tap on the sideline. It winds up rolling inside the 10. Brockport's going to get it to their own 6-yard line.
Yeah, we got a flag around the 17-yard line. We're going to try to see what this is.
Flag now. See what the call is here.
Speaking of 9-irons, that's why my ball was up on the green there. So.
9:03 here in the first quarter, so scoreless as Brockport sets up for their second offensive drive. They'll be holding up Brockport.
On the return team. That'll be penalized half the distance to the goal. First down.
So holding for Brockport, so they're going to get the ball at their 3-yard line instead of their 6. And certainly the first threatening opportunity here for each of the teams as Fisher has Brockport backed up against their own end zone. So out comes Casella, Motts, and Simmons, who will line up in the backfield with Caldwell, the lone receiver, to the top of the formation. Double tight end set as well from Brockport. Oh, sorry, Sluka's actually down at the lower end of the formation. He's kind of sneaking his way out of the field there. Talk about ball placement here, I think.
Interesting matchup to watch at the bottom of your screen. Jude Converse, senior defensive back for Fisher, is 5'8". You got Sluka down there. What's Sluka run around? 6'3", 6'4"?
32 on the kicking team.
So the holding actually was on Fisher. The refs changed their call there. So what was going to be at the 3-yard line is actually going to come out to the 16-yard line after the hold. So that was on number 32, Fisher, that drew that flag. That was Timothy Vanderbrink that picked up that flag. I'm not sure what would prompt a holding on the kicking team for during a punt, but alas, benefits Brockport. Coach Mangoni wants to get a second here. He's trying to figure out down and distance and making sure the clock's right. A lot to unpack when the refs make a wrong call and wrong ball placement.
Yeah.
Talk about starts. Bad start for the Brockport offense, bad start for the Fisher offense, and then a bad start from the officials. So
I think he was wondering do you re-kick?
Oh, does he have the opportunity to re-kick maybe?
If he took the penalty, 10 yards, and then re-kick?
Sure.
Oh, well.
Must have been on the return.
Yes.
So Gasella is going to take the snap here for Simmons. He hand it to Simmons. They're going to try that left side again. Simmons bounces it back to the right. Simmons with some room to run. He's got to cross the 25-yard line and scampers out of bounds. Isaiah Simmons, nice run there. A 12-yard pickup out to the 27-yard line. So we'll give him 11 on that.
Yeah, and that's got to be a very, very frustrating thing for your defense. You actually have the play read. You have them hemmed in. You don't have the cutback lane all set, and he was able to scamper away for 11 yards.
We'll see how long before Coach Mangoni lets Gasella throw it again. And Gasella, a nice throw to open the game, but off the chest of Caldwell. There's the fake, and they're going to go right back, and that one's tipped at the line of scrimmage, almost intercepted. Thankfully falls to the turf, but Gasella.
Isaiah Brett's almost took that to the house.
2nd and 10 here for Brockport.
So, Ryan, I think we didn't talk about during pregame, the bye week. They're coming out a little
rusty. Goddard checks in as well as Lamage checks in. There's Goddard right in the seam. Nice catch. Big Miles Goddard across the 50-yard line, and we talked about that during the opening drive. They love that seam route to Goddard, and how can you not, Mario? Big 6'6" tight end like him running down the field.
Yeah,
Saw that a lot in Buffalo. That was Scott Chandler's special, is what they called that.
Yeah, Gasella went and took one look at the defense. He saw the corners were up. He saw the safety go to the middle of the field. Obviously, in cover 3, seams are going to be open. Ends up hitting Goddard, and Trenton Sherman made the tackle. That's a business decision. No, you're getting in front of Goddard.
Great throw there, right over the linebacker and in front of the safety, and we got a flag here, false start coming for Brockport. So, and those are the penalties that Coach Mangoni hates to see. You get a big gain on offense, you get some momentum going, and you immediately pick up a 5-yard penalty.
Yeah, we talked about it just a second ago with the rust. If you're coming off a bye week, you're not used to that normal routine that you have.
Goddard out, Mott's in. Daniel Manna checks in as well. There's Manna in the slot, electric wide receiver when he gets the ball in his hands. We'll see if they try to manufacture some touches for him today. Simmons still the only running back we've seen today. Another false start here. They did try to manufacture a touch from Manna, and Manna looked like he had a one-on-one with Nolan Sluka in front of him. Blocking. This is actually offsides on Fisher, so dueling flags here, and we're right back to 1st and 10 for Brockport.
Anything you can do. No, I'm just kidding.
So out to the back across midfield at the 47-yard line is where Brockport's going to get this one.
I'll tell you what, they got Isaiah Bretts, number 31, listed as a safety, but he has been very close to the line of scrimmage in the box. Obviously very conscious of the way that Brockport loves to run the ball.
Fisher, linebackers creeping up. Look like they might be bringing pressure here. They're going to fake it, throw. That one's tipped again. That's the second deflection that this Fisher defense has today against Gasella. They're just getting their hands up, and the playbook's out early. That's Zach Dyer's back.
6'4" senior.
The book's out early on Gasella. He likes those quick slant routes, and Fisher doing a good job of getting their hands up. So Motts and Manna check out. Lamage, Goddard in here, 2nd and 10.
Yeah, a lot of the success that we've seen Gasella have this year has been off the play action. And if the run's not being very productive, then you're not fooling anybody with it.
We're going to look to throw. He's got Sluka downfield. Sluka, just a jump ball. And Nolan Sluka, what a catch. He mossed him, Mario.
He did.
We talked about that matchup, the smaller defensive back on the tall 6'4" Nolan Sluka, and he loves those jump balls. What a ball from Ben Gasella.
Yeah, the last time they decided to go with that formation, you couldn't tell what the coverage was because if it was cover 2, the safety could have came over. But they had somebody in the slot. They knew they had a man up. Take a shot.
First wrinkle for this Brockport offense. Gasella out, Ethan Detalio in. And Detalio, he's the running quarterback. They like to run the ball with him. We'll see what they do. And they're going to hand it to Simmons. And Simmons, nice little cutback there. Breaks a tackle, and he's going to pick up 4 on the play. What looked like might have been a tackle for loss. Instead, turns into a positive gain. Detalio stays in. And the difference here, Mario, is there's the threat to pull, right? Gasella, there's no threat to pull on those handoffs, but with Detalio, he can run the football just as well as Simmons can in some cases.
Absolutely.
So they may pull the ball out here.
Yeah, if you're a defensive end for Fisher, you have to be very, very conscious of who's in there and when they're in there. So, something definitely to watch.
Changes the approach. There's Simmons that goes in motion, and they're going to run it, or just a little draw play with Detalio. He's going to pick up 3 on the play across the 10 to the 9. Going to bring up a 3rd and 4 here for Brockport. Out comes Detalio, and back in comes Gasella. So Brockport early throwing different looks at Fisher.
Well, you got a 3rd and short. You want to actually give them the illusion of a pass too, but by bringing Gasella, and even if you're just thinking about running it with Simmons, this is when they love to do that inside handoff, and they lead.
So Gasella, he's got Sluka and Caldwell at the top one-on-one situations. We'll see if they throw a fade route. They will not. They're going to get Simmons off the left side. Simmons lowers his head. He's in. Isaiah Simmons from 9 yards out, and Brockport strikes first. They run that little, similar to what Buffalo runs with James Cook, Mario. It's just that little jump cut counter play to Isaiah Simmons. He's got such a quick first step when he gets the ball.
Absolutely. And the one thing about Simmons that I think is very, very underrated, I mean, they have him listed at 5'8", but he is, when he gets into that mesh, he's a power runner. Yeah. Like, he's very, very you don't really see one guy bring him down, and he's very comfortable running in between the tackles.
And Monteperto adds the extra point, so Brockport up early here, 7-0 with 5 minutes left to play in this first quarter. Brockport capitalizes on their second possession, a nice seam route to Miles Goddard and a deep pass to Nolan Sluka were the 2 big plays there, and Isaiah Simmons finally punches it in on 3rd and 4 from 9 yards out. Of course, our sponsor today, our game sponsor is Bob Johnson Auto Group. Bob Johnson Auto Group has over 25 locations across New York State. Make sure you check them out, bobjohnson.com. They've got over 20 makes and models in stock, and they'll find a vehicle that fits your needs. bobjohnsonautogroup.com. On to kick it away here. Zach McGowan. Good kick there by McGowan. That's going to be fielded at the 8-yard line and out across the 20, across the 25. Decent return there, and he's hammered down. That was number 18 on the return for Fisher. So Fisher's going to get their second crack at offense here from their own 27-yard line, where that one's going to start. Our first half sponsor today, Lattimore Physical Therapy and Sports Rehab. At Lattimore, their physical therapists enjoy the work they do, and they give 100% every day. Make sure you check them out as well. LattimorePT.com. They have locations all over the Rochester area for all your needs. So there's a handoff, and that's Chase. Nowhere to go for Cam Chance that time. He is hemmed in and met by a host of defenders. And, you know, Mario, we kind of, you know, joked a little bit about that hit, but we have not seen Peyton Nolan since he took that shot.
No.
On the play that Whitney wound up pulling. It's been Cam Chance the whole way since then. So.
Well, I do see him on the sidelines with his helmet on, so he may have been evaluated, and they're just kind of waiting it out for right now.
3 wide set here, and they're going to try the handoff again. Chance breaks a tackle in the backfield. Fanor got to him, but he shrugged the tackle off and winds up picking up 2. That was a lot of running for 2 yards there, Mario. Good job by that Brockport defense in pursuit. So 3rd and 12 here for the Fisher Cardinals after that 2-yard gain, and Brockport defense, this is where they like to pin their ears back, Mario, and bring some pressure. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. They sat back in zone the previous 2 third downs, but, you know, Talbert's always that one guy, number 52, that they love sending. Here he comes.
Whitney's going to throw, and he's got a man across the middle. They give him the catch, and that's going to be enough for a first down based on the spot. So
looks like it's going to be Cusack again.
So nice catch there by Cusack. 1st and 10 for Fisher as they get out to the 37-yard line. Three minutes left in this first quarter as Fisher trying to answer back after the 9-yard Isaiah Simmons run. Put Brockport up 7-0. And we're going to get a false start here by Fisher. And Cardinals take 5 steps back after the first down. And that one's on Carter Vedrani, tight end.
I mean, that's worse than a timeout of breaking the momentum that you have as far as an offense. Obviously, that first two plays runs didn't go anywhere. You end up converting a huge 3rd down on a Brockport defense that does not give them up, and you decide to jump offside. So
1st and 15 now instead of 1st and 10. Whitney directing traffic, still Chance in the backfield with him. Kennedy in motion, and Whitney's going to look to throw, and he instead steps up into the pocket, and he's being pursued. That's Mike Talbert. What closing speed by Talbert. Winds up giving up only 2 on that scamper, but man, Talbert came from the opposite hash on that one, Mario.
Yeah, he did. See, it looks like he's got a club wrapped around his hand too.
That's all he needs, right? Is a licensed weapon out there with him. Like, he's not dangerous enough in that linebacker position.
Yes, but excellent closing speed because Whitney did have the corner. You know, he did have the corner out there, but Talbert says, like, no, not today. You got a 4 wide set, trips to the top of your screen.
2nd and 13 here.
You got White to the bottom of your screen. He's got the height advantage over Kelly.
Good read there, number 43 on the tackle for Brockport. Gianni Mercado up from his linebacker position, and they wanted to throw it quick. Whitney wanted to throw it fast there, Mario, and Mercado just kind of jumped and took that lane away and did a good job of tackling in the open field. Yeah,
they had a quick out designed. The outside receiver ran a go. The slot receiver ran a quick out. They tried to get it to the wide side of the field, which is a very far throw. You know, he decided to think differently of it, maybe because of what happened last week. So
3rd and 13 here as Brockport's trying to get off the field. This is the 2nd 3rd down and long for Fisher. And throw there, and no one on the other end of it. That was intended for Michael White. And
he just got tangled up with the defensive back as he made his cut. But
that ball would have been out of bounds anyway.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Not a bad to look at, but those are those third down plays. But you're 3rd and 16. Okay, you look at it realistically. We're not in 4-down territory. What do we want to try to run here? What is something we may want to try to set up later in the game? That's when you run those certain plays like that.
Back to punt here is Kyle Farewell, and Cam Mesh back to return for the Golden Eagles. Good punt there by Farewell this time after a bad one the first time, and Mesh fields it at his own 20. He makes a man miss, and he's up the middle. He's got some blockers ahead of him. Cam Mesh bounces it to the outside. Mesh lowers his helmet, so a nice 20-yard return there for Cam Mesh. Sets Brockport up in good field position.
20-yard return. It's going to be first down and 10 on the 40-yard line.
You know, I always liked having running backs. I mean, if they had pretty decent hands, I always loved them to be the punt returners because who can navigate through all that chaos better than a running back? You know what I mean?
So in to start this drive, Detalio back in at quarterback with Simmons and Motts in the backfield with him.
Bottom of your screen, they have DeAndre Green, who's 6 foot, covering.
They switched on the 3rd down goal play, so I think they're tired of watching Sluka go up and over the top, and there's the handoff to Simmons across the left side. Simmons breaks a tackle across midfield, and Simmons, no one's going to catch him. Simmons, 10-5, touchdown, Brockport. Isaiah Simmons from 60 yards out. His second of the day. What a run by Isaiah Simmons. He broke a tackle at the line of scrimmage, and he was off.
I'll tell you what, he would be running inside the tackles, runaway speed. Also, very similar to the Buffalo State game that we called here on the first play of the game when he went 77. Very similar to that play.
So Isaiah Simmons, so far today, a one-man show on offense. Both touchdowns with 33 seconds left in the first quarter. The extra point is up and good, and Brockport takes early control here. And Mario, you talked about it in the pregame, you talked about it again during the game. Fisher, ball control, a lot of offense, but the problem is they also give up 40 points a game, and the teams tend to be able to strike quick, and we saw a quick strike from Brock.
Absolutely, and but it's one of those things where when you're a team like that, those scores don't bother you. After a while, you're like, okay, let's go back and do business, see if we can get it back in the end zone. If we can cut this in half, by the time maybe 10 minutes left in the second quarter, and we got down 14-7, that's a win for us.
Yeah. We're also staring down a double dip. Half, received.
That infamous double dip.
McGowan trying to get this one teed up and fell off the tee, so of course, for some reason, the ref has to touch it again and start over. So 33 seconds left here, and there are 2 scores today for Brockport. 2 Isaiah Simmons runs, one from 9 yards out, and the big one that just happened from 60 yards out, Isaiah Simmons. So McGowan ready to kick it away here, and good kick there. And fielded at the 1-yard line and out across the 20. Tries to turn the corner, and he's ripped down and out of bounds. Cam Mesh on the tackle there.
He does everything, doesn't he?
The do-it-all special teamer. He'd fit right in on a Sean McDermott coach team.
He'd be a 3rd-round pick. What are you talking about?
28 seconds left here, and this is where Ryan Whitney's going to try and get something going on offense for Fisher. They've struggled their first 2 possessions after coming into the game averaging over 400 yards and 21 points per game.
Well, they're obviously missing Brantley, but it's not like they're shying away from the guys they have. They have a couple sophomores receiving there. We see Cusack catch a couple passes. We've seen White in there as well. They're still trying to go to these guys.
Cam Chance still the running back here after Nolan took a shot in the opening drive, and Chance finally finds some room to run. Out across, ball's out, and Fisher fell on it. So Chance puts the ball on the turf, and big number 71, Eli Williams, the right guard for Fisher, the Johnny on the spot,
Looks like they're going to let this one run down.
Yeah. So they're going to let this one go to the end of the first quarter. And Brockport takes a 14-0 lead into the end of the first quarter. We're going to go ahead and take a break, and when we come back, we're going to have the second quarter here for the Rock Sports Network Golden Eagles Game of the Week, brought to you by Bob Johnson Auto Group.
Sculpted lines, impressive hardware, aggressive stance. It can only mean one thing. 'Tis the season to get out and tailgate. Right now at every Bob Johnson, buy any new or used truck, we'll throw in a Mafia-ready folding table absolutely free. Bob Johnson, this is where the savings are.
Bob Johnson.
Customize your great plate every Tuesday at Bill Gray's with hot dogs, cheeseburgers, mac salad, home fries, beans, tots, and more. Bill Gray's Great Plate Tuesdays, only $9.99.
Gimme, Bill Gray's.
If you're living with pain or recovering from surgery and don't know where to start, Lattimore Physical Therapy can help. The Lattimore Promise includes an individual diagnosis with a highly trained licensed physical therapist on your first visit, a personalized treatment plan, communication with your doctor, and a continued personal care plan. You're never more than minutes away from pain relief. Visit LattimorePT.com.
Lattimore Physical Therapy.
All right, we are back here as Whitney set to take the snap. And Whitney turns and hands it off to Chance, and Chance is wrapped up and dropped. Big tackle there. Luca Friedman in from his linebacker position to bring Chance down. So they're going to give him the line of scrimmage.
So Ryan, as we enter the second quarter, bigger surprise for you. Brockport up 14-0, or you haven't made any chance puns?
It's probably the chance punts. I've got a couple locked and loaded for the second half. So again, Peyton Nolan, the starting running back for Fisher, took a shot in the first drive, and he hasn't been seen since. It's been Cam Chance the whole way so far. Fakes the handoff. Whitney, and that's Daywin Fanner getting his hands up. And I'll tell you what, these two defenses, Mario, these defensive lines they're making it tough for these quarterbacks on these quick throws.
I'm not so sure that Fanner didn't do Whitney a favor on that one, because it looked like the cornerback was about to undercut that out route. That seems to be something that Fisher
Kelly
likes.
Was licking his lips on
he
that
was.
one, huh?
He was.
Brings up 3rd and 11 here for the Cardinals. 14:29 here left, only 31 seconds gone in the second quarter. 3 wide here as Chance in the pistol behind Whitney.
Well, you got Fanner on the down. He might be coming off the edge here. There he goes.
Talbert showing up the middle. They're bringing pressure. Whitney gets the throw and up and over the head of James Kennedy, the intended receiver. And boy, that was a.
I'll tell you what, that always used to make me laugh when a guy who just knocked down my pass at the line is now lined up on my outside receiver with the corner behind him. I'm like, you're not covering him. I'm sorry. I'm going to be looking out for you.
So Brockport gets another stop here. They're 3 for 3 on drives today. Set to punt it away is Kyle Farewell, and Cam Mesh again back to return. Nice return last opportunity for Mesh, 20-yard return. We'll see if he can flip the field again for Brockport. Farewell, and Mesh lets it bounce at the 30, and that's going to roll inside the 20 and roll back to the 20. So right at the 20 is where the Golden Eagles are going to get their start here, as we're going to get the first look at this Brockport attack in the second quarter. Last time we saw Brockport on offense, Isaiah Simmons housed one from 60 yards out. $14-14 left on the clock. Appreciate everybody who's watching on Facebook. And it is DiTalio again, so that same look. I think Coach Mangoni wanted to give DiTalio more than one play last drive, so there goes DiTalio out across the 25, lowers his shoulder, and he's out of bounds at the 28-yard line. So nice job there by Ethan DiTalio.
It looks like that wasn't just a predetermined run. Like it looked like
he was ready to throw.
He was ready to throw, and that's one of those ones where you can say, all right, what did you see here when they go to the film room on Monday?
2nd and 2 here after the 2-yard or the 8-yard run by DiTilio, and he's gonna hand it to Simmons, who's wrapped up by a host of Fisher defenders, led by number 33, Joe Messia. That linebacker we talked about, Mario, before the game, Messia, leading tackler on this Fisher defense.
And it's interestingly enough because he's 6 foot, like I say, 6'3", maybe closer to 6'4". That's a lot of body that you can get. The guards can get underneath you a lot of times. So for him to scrape and make that play is actually very impressive.
3rd and 3 here, and an empty backfield for DiTilio. Simmons goes in motion. DiTilio, he's going to throw. They tried to set up a screen and to Manna, and the guard just got a little bit out in front of things there. Number 77, Ahmad Davis. I mean, a little overzealous in his blocking pattern, kind of ran right into it.
They're taking all of Manna's fun. The first catch he had was a swing route, got called on a false start. Now it's the guard on the way to him. Poor man.
In to kick it away here is Dan Giangrasso, and Giangrasso again, big weapon for Coach Mangoni.
Interestingly enough, to call that play, Fisher hasn't been really that aggressive coming at him.
Line drive kick there for Giangrasso, and that's fielded and brought out to the 37-yard line. That's number 13 on the return there, Drew Smith for St. John Fisher. So the Cardinals get their best drive start of the game so far today. Another shout out to our first half sponsor, Lattimore Physical Therapy and Sports Rehab. Lattimore's got a number of clinics all around the Rochester area, including local clinics in Brockport, Spencerport, and Shiloh. Make sure you give them a call if you've got any physical therapy needs. They're often able to give initial consultations within 24 hours. For your convenience, LattimorePT.com.
Brockport's come out in the cover 2.
So Chance back in the running back position. Kennedy goes in motion. Whitney looks to throw. He's looking deep. He's got a man in the seam, and that's broken up. Great play there to break that one up. That's number 10 in coverage for Brockport. That's Marquise Wright. Intended for Kennedy.
Pass intended for number 89, James Kennedy.
Great play there by Kelly, or Marquise Wright, rather, Mario, to break that one up.
Absolutely. I mean, Whitney put that in the only spot he could for that pass to be completed, and it was just a great play by the defensive back.
So Whitney in the shotgun pistol formation there with Chance behind him. He's going to hand it to Chance across the 35 and out to the 40, lowers his shoulder, and it takes a couple extra defenders to bring him down. So he's out to the 42-yard line. That's going to bring up a 3rd and 5 here for Fisher. 3rd and 5. 12:20 left in this second quarter. Brockport leading 14-0. A couple of Isaiah Simmons runs.
3rd and 5. This is where he likes to dial someone coming off the corner, usually.
4 wide set here, pistol formation with Chance behind Whitney. Whitney's going to throw to the outside, and it's intercepted. Oh, no, knocked down. That's Malik Kelly. Oh, he did. No, that's. There's going to be a flag on the play here.
I'm going to go as unsportsmanlike after if he did catch it, I think he turned to the sideline and said something.
So, not sure, Mario. Let's figure out what this. So unsportsmanlike conduct, you're right, Mario. I think Kelly had some words for the sideline after that interception. So it is a pick, Mario. That was one of the quickest catches and interceptions and drops I've seen in a long time. You couldn't tell if he caught it or not.
And I tell you what, some of those passes to the outside, it doesn't seem like Whitney is phased too much about what happened last week. He keeps throwing them. That's the second one that we saw that probably could have, if he had his footing, probably would have went to the house.
So Casella back in at quarterback here at the 40-yard line is where they take over. He's going to hand the ball to Simmons, and Simmons met early in the backfield, number 37 on the tackle there. Sorry, number 33, that was Messina on the tackle.
So, Ryan, going back to last series and coming into this series, if you're Mangoni, you had a 3-and-out. You ran a screen, and Fisher hasn't really been bringing a lot of pressure. Usually run the screens for pressure. Is he just – and then you brought in Detalio. Just trying stuff out with a 14-point lead?
Yeah, I think you're probably just putting some stuff on tape for other teams to prepare for at this point, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
are you comfortable with 14 now? I mean,
I think you have to be if you're Mangoni. I mean, my big pass there to Miles Goddard, Casella to Goddard. That gets them 12s for a first down.
I'll tell you, he's a matchup nightmare.
I mean, I think, at this point, Mario, Fisher's not really shown much on offense. If they can't do much against your defense, if you're offensively inclined like Mangoni, you're going to trust that Coach Fox is going to continue to take care of the defensive side of the ball, and you're going to get a little creative.
Gotcha.
And on that play, it's the first time we've actually seen, not that he can't run them, but first time we've actually seen a route from Goddard this season. It was a little out route, but usually he's just a seam runner. Handoff here to Simmons, who lowers his shoulder, and guess who meets him in the hole? That's Messina.
Yeah, but one of those things you want to do is, he's had Detilio in there. He's thrown a couple passes that have gotten batted down. He's had a couple dropped. What better way to get Casella back into the game and throw to a big target like Goddard?
So, number 8, that's Jabari Oxley, who has to come off the field for a lost helmet on that play. It's got to be one play in college if their helmet comes off. So interesting, Mario, we haven't seen anyone at running back other than Isaiah Simmons so far today. And again, this is a very unconventional Coach Mangoni offense over the last 4 games to start this season. There's a Nolan Sluka catch, and Sluka spun down at the 27-yard line. That's a big target going across the middle. He's got a pair of them in Goddard and Sluka.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if Sluka has 20 catches this year, 18 of them you could put on a highlight reel. Like, they're just so –
I mean, and how, especially when we talk about the Division III level, Mario, I mean, that's a luxury to be able to throw into guys that size.
Oh, good Lord. I wish I had those. I was throwing
you
the guys
were taller than all your receivers, right?
Yeah, I was throwing the guys 5'8". They just got off horses.
I'm going to fake it. There's that slant route, and Sluka diving attempt at that one, and Casella.
That's one of those where you get the ball and you know you got to get out of your hands quick, but you don't have the laces. I don't think he had the laces on that one.
Well, he's trying to throw quick because he's had a couple of those types of throws knocked down already today. So I'm sure he's trying to get it extra quick out of his hands. Yeah. Mana checks back in here.
But you see what Mangoni's doing for him, knowing that. He's trying to slide the line all the way to the right so he can throw back left so without any trouble.
So Mana uncovered, so we're going to watch the swing. Casella hands it off to Simmons, and Simmons off the right side buries his head and picks up 4 on the play. So it's going to bring up 3rd and manageable here for the Golden Eagles. 3rd and 6 after the Simmons run.
It was a very, very, very patient run by Simmons on that one. I mean, you think a guy that already has a 60-yarder and a 9-yarder today, he's going to want to go for the gusto and get the hat trick, but he was very, very patient on that run.
Inside of 9 minutes here left in this first half. Brockport leading 14-0 over the St. John Fisher Cardinals, and Brockport knocking on the red zone door here. Pistol formation behind Casella is Simmons, 3 wide. Goddard in that seam position, and they're going to throw deep. They got Caldwell. Caldwell, touchdown. Ben Casella to Brian Caldwell from 24 yards out makes it 20-0 here. Brockport, Mario, what a throw It's almost like the Fisher Cardinals forgot about Brian Caldwell on the other side and just let him walk into the end zone.
Yeah, he actually had safety help over the top, but Goddard occupied that safety because they already went to him twice. So I think Casella looked him off and then had Caldwell one-on-one in the end zone.
So Brockport all over the St. John Fisher Cardinals today. It's 20-0. Monteperto in to add the extra point. Snap, hold, good. Kick, good. 21-0 here, Brockport, with 8:34 left in the second quarter, and Brockport, Fisher hasn't been able to beat Brockport since 2016, and Brockport kind of closing the door early on any hope of making it the first win in 8 years here.
Yeah, we talked about it during the pregame, Ryan, that the last year, 35-18 Brockport victory in the Encourage Bowl 18. But prior to that, in the previous 5 meetings, Fisher was only able to manage 21 points against this Brockport defense. So more of the same today here at Bob Boozer Field.
And Fisher on offense is hampered by injury right now. They obviously, we talked about Jalen Brentley, who is out, broke his collarbone in practice this week. Peyton Nolan, we haven't seen him since he took a shot in that first quarter. It's been all Cam Chance since then. So I mean, tough to keep things going when you got starters that are missing time.
Yeah, you talk about losing. You talk about losing Brantley. It's not like you lost him last week's game,
right?
And you had time to prepare. You lost him on Thursday.
Yeah, Thursday's your last practice day before.
Yeah.
You know. And room to run here for the Cardinals across the 20, across the 25, and finally knocked out of bounds. That was number 26 on the tackle for Brockport. That was Brady Schnell who had the tackle, but good return there, trying to pump some life into this Cardinals offense with a good field start here at the 35-yard line.
Who better than a freshman to give you a kickstart?
That's right.
Justin Mayer with an excellent return right there.
And it is Cam Chance again here out behind Whitney.
So shocked on both sides of the ball with the running back situation going on today?
Yeah. Especially, I mean, like you said, we've seen Nolan on the sideline with his helmet on, so I don't know if that's wishful thinking on his part or if there's a reason that they're not going back to him. And Chance, no room to run there, and that was 8 of the 11 Brockport defenders in on that tackle.
Yeah, there's we'll probably get a clearer word for the viewers after halftime to see what's going on with Nolan. But as for right now, it's the Chance show.
Yeah, Nolan took a shot from Luca Friedman, and it was a play that fooled everybody up in the booth even too. Nolan, it was a late pull by Whitney, and he took an absolute shot by Friedman, but since then we haven't seen him, so interesting to see if we can find anything out at halftime. Chance, and meets Ben Robinson and kind of spins off there. He gets 3 on the play, so it's going to bring up 3rd and 7 here for the Cardinals.
It's interesting to see the dynamic of certain plays. Chance already put the ball on the ground. So what do you think Brockport's trying to do now?
They're ripping.
Yeah, exactly.
Ripping every time they get a hand on him.
The thing about that is they may give up 2 or 3 more yards trying to rip that ball out rather than securing the tackle.
So Evan DeLutis checks in here. He's been he had the catch in the opening drive for Fisher that extended the drive on 3rd down.
Play action slant. What do we got here?
Whitney takes the snap. He's going to look to run. He's under some pressure. Here comes Talbert, and he's wrapped up, finally brought down. That's number 91 on the tackle. That's just pursuit tackling right there if you're Brockport. That was Jason Thomas. And we're going to see injury timeout here for the officials. And boy, Jason Thomas got up, and I think Coach Mangoni reminded him pretty quickly about the Malik Kelly unsportsmanlike conduct penalty after the interception. And that would have been an automatic first down for Fisher.
Okay, all right. I'm going to defend the big guys in the trenches now. Okay, if you're a corner, you get a lot of chances to get interceptions. When you're a defensive tackle, your whole job is to eat up bodies all day. So when you finally get a sack, it's like a special moment. So.
well here to kick it away to Cam Mesh. Mesh looking into the sun. So we'll see if he can field this one. That one bounces at the 30. Mesh picks it up at the 25, makes a couple of men miss, and takes a shot there. Good tackle. Number 57 for St. John Fisher. That was Alexander Hoffman, who comes up and delivers a shot to Mesh.
I swear, every time Mesh fields a punt, to me it seems like an audition to play starting running back. It seems like, come on, coach, come on. I mean, we see him every once in a while, but like you said before at the pregame, this is not the normal or typical over the past 6-7 years when we've been calling these games, Ryan. Mangoni offense.
Yeah.
He usually goes with a three-headed monster in the backfield. He's only throwing it
They run
really
the ball 40 times.
Yeah.
I mean, don't forget, we're 2 seasons removed, I believe, from Jale Code breaking the Division III record for most carries in a game. So, I mean, this is not a conventional Jason Mangoni offense, but
it's
when
working.
you got a quarterback that can spin it like Casella can, you give him the opportunity to. Simmons takes the carry and lowers his head, and met with a couple of Fisher defenders, 2-yard gain on the play. Guess who went on that one? That's Messina.
Yeah, and we always talk about it, complementary football just on opposite sides of the ball, what Mangoni calls and what Fox calls. But the thing is, Simmons being in there opens so many more avenues for Casella to throw in and much more windows for him to throw into because they're worried about him.
Daniel Manna checks in to the slot there, and Goddard in at the tight end position as well. Casella takes a snap. He's going to give it to Simmons, who bounces it to the outside, and he's wrapped up and dropped. Nice open field tackle there by number 2, DeAndre Green for St. John Fisher. So 3rd and long here for Brockport, 3rd and 7. And they're going to stay with the same personnel. They're actually going to switch Goddard out, Lamage in. A wholesale change for Fisher, taking the opportunity to get some new bodies in there as Brockport brought in a switch.
Caldwell at the bottom of your screen. Take a look out for him.
Loaded box, only a single high safety here. Let's see what Casella does with it. Brings some pressure. Casella with the throw and broken up, intended for Manet, and Manet wants a flag. Nice coverage there by number 21.
It's freshman Trent Hill.
So Trent Hill on the coverage, who breaks that one up. And Casella trying to get the ball to Manna today, and they just can't seem to find the right connection.
Yeah, I think that was I mean, you could disagree with me if you're a Brockport fan, that's fine. I think it was a good no call because both players were pretty much fighting, hand fighting the entire time on that route.
Gengrasso in to kick this one away. It's going to be Drew Smith back to return for the Cardinals. 4:47 here left, so Mario talking the infamous double dip for Fisher if they can make something happen offensively and cut this into a 1-possession game. Smith fields it at his own 16-yard line, and he's finally ripped down. That's Luca Friedman on the tackle.
I'll tell you what, I've seen Mayer, freshman wide receiver for Fisher, and I've seen on that return, I see Smith. You know, he's a 5'9" senior. They're both very shifty guys. I mean, if you get the ball in their hands in open field, I mean, you're already down a receiver. If you need a spark to your offense, and as we see right now, to even start Drew Smith, he's going to be out there flanked at the bottom of your screen. So who knows?
Cam Chance back to the running back position. They fake to him. Whitney's going to throw, long throw to the outside, and that's
right
caught. It's Drew Smith, as the aforementioned Smith. They're going to call that a catch right at the sticks. That's a tough throw, Mario, all the way to the opposite
Oh my
hash.
God, that's
From the
people don't
opposite
realize
hash.
how far that throw is.
So 2nd and 1 after the completion to Smith. Four minutes left in this second quarter as they send the man in motion. They're going to hand it to Chance and see if he can pick up a yard, and he can. Brockport continuing to rip at that football. So that's out across the 40. for the Cardinals.
How many 3-and-outs Fisher have today? Two?
Two.
Correct, two. Mm-hmm. So, I mean.
So they've done a good job of extending drives.
Consistently, yeah, they're holding on to the ball. Well, with the exception of the one fumble that Chance had,
which
but
turned
they
into
end up getting
a
it.
first down.
Yeah.
Before he fumbled. So.
Yeah. But, I mean, they're moving the ball. They're just having trouble getting over the 50, getting into the red zone, as we talked about before.
Kennedy goes in motion, and they're going to hand it to Chance. He's going to try and turn the corner, and what a stiff arm there. He brought Hadich right to the ground with that stiff arm.
That is.
And Hadich letting him know, I'm coming back at you next time.
That should be. That is not. Hadich isn't usually on the
receiving end.
The Josh Norman receiving end of stiff arms.
So Brockport trying to keep this a scoreless game for Fisher, trying to keep the shutout rolling here, heading into halftime, 2:35 left, and Fisher's got to pick up a sense of urgency at some point here, Mario.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of grinding it away on offense, and the little check down there, that's number 4 on the catch. That's Evan DeLutis, and he's going to pick up a first down and scamper out of bounds.
Yeah, I mean they had a second and short, then they had a first down, 21-0. You're sitting there going, oh, we can't score 21 now. Sure. All right, let's try to take our time, be patient with this drive. We don't want to give the ball back with any time. If we get 7, like you said, if we get 7, we get the ball back in the second half, we fix a few things, we can go down and get another 7. We're down 7.
Yep.
21-14. Let's roll. When you start to panic, that's when bad things happen. So.
And that's a 2-minute warning. So 21-0 here, Brockport, as the 2-minute warning comes. Fisher trying to get on the scoreboard here today. One last shout out to our first half sponsor, Lattimore Physical Therapy and Sports Rehab. Lattimore has clinics all over the Rochester area, including local opportunities in Brockport, Spencerport, and Shiloh. Make sure you go online and you can book an appointment with them in as early as 24 hours. And they do offer initial consultations for your convenience. If you have physical therapy needs, there's none better in the area than Lattimore PT, so check them out, lattimorept.com. So we'll see here, Mario, with the 2-minute warning, what Coach Mike Fox dials up defensively. Obviously, we know Coach Fox loves his shutouts, and you're not in safe mode yet for if you're Brockport. It's,
a lot of time.
Twice already during this drive that there's an opportunity for points here, points after halftime, and all of a sudden, even if it's a couple field goals, you're kind of back into a football game here, where Brockport has had success offensively. Fisher trying to get some momentum here going into halftime. Send a man in motion. That's Curtis who goes in motion. Sorry, DeLutis goes in motion. They're going to throw across the middle, intercepted Mike Talbert. And Talbert got some room to run. Mike Talbert, a little nifty spin move. And Talbert fighting down across the 45. Big Mike Talbert hitting that B button on the spin move. Maybe he's making a case to catch some seam routes for Coach Mangoni.
Or circle if you don't play Xbox. No, we got a flag on the play as well, and we got a player down. Intercepted one-handed, Ryan.
Yeah,
one-handed.
Yeah, we'll talk about the club that he's wearing. We're going to take a break while they tend to the injured Cardinal. We'll be back on the other side for the rest of this first half.
Sculpted lines, impressive hardware, aggressive stance. It can only mean one thing. 'Tis the season to get out and tailgate. Right now at every Bob Johnson, buy any new or used truck, we'll throw in a Mafia-ready folding table absolutely free. Bob Johnson, this is where the savings are.
Bob Johnson.
Customize your great plate every Tuesday at Bill Gray's with hot dogs, cheeseburgers, mac salad, home fries, beans, tots, and more. Bill Gray's Great Plate Tuesdays, only $9.99.
Gimme, 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 Bill Gray.
All right, we are back here as the Golden Eagles take over. The call was a holding on Marquand Fluitt on the return by Talbert, a 10-yard flag. So they're back on the Golden Eagles side of the 50-yard line. Casella looking to add some points here before halftime. And there's our first look at Cam Mesh in the backfield, who takes the carry across the 50 down to the 48-yard line. So finally a new running back into the game here as Mesh picks up 5 on the carry. Second down here for Casella. They are in hurry-up mode. Casella throws a little slant route. That's Lamage who catches that one across the middle. That's going to be a targeting call on number 31. He's going to be lucky if he's not out of this game after that. That was crown of the helmet. So that's going to be I'm not sure if it's going to be unsportsmanlike or if it's going to be targeting, but it's going to be something on number 31 up from his. I'm not sure if it's 31 or 7. Was in on that tackle. I think they're just, Mario, this conversation has to be whether it's targeting or whether it's just a unsportsmanlike conduct, unnecessary roughness penalty on the tackle. But Lamage was wrapped up and going to the ground, and the defender came in late on him. Actually waving it off, so that was the conversation whether it was or not. So no harm, no foul there, and we'll call that was enough for a first down.
Perhaps determine hit him with the shoulder.
Should be, yeah. I mean, you want to get the call right for sure.
Yeah. So $1:23 left. Both teams have all their timeouts.
Clock running here, 4 wide for Brockport. Cam Mesh, the running back for Casella. They're going to run the pitch to Mesh, and Mesh wrapped up. Great tackle there, number 50 on the tackle, Jaquan Davis. Good job there by Davis. He was the lone defender between Mesh and the end zone and brought him down. So Brockport letting the clock run inside of 1 minute here as it's 2nd and 11. Mangoni's got 3 timeouts here. You got to think, Mario, if they get some yardage, they're going to call a timeout here. Up, and what a catch by Daniel Manna.
Foot down and out of bounds.
What a catch. Daniel Mann has been waiting for that all day. He's been trying to get his hands on that football. And a big gain there sets Brockport up inside the red zone. And Brockport looking to make it a 4-score football game here. If you're Fisher, it's desperation mode for this defense.
Playing man across the board.
Oh, there's a little screen pass to Mesh. Another great tackle by Jaquan Davis, rather. Coach Mangoni's going to use his first timeout here.
It just makes sense to say Jones after Daquan.
That's right. Getting ready for that game tomorrow, Bills' big game in Houston. 38 seconds left here as Coach Mangoni uses his first timeout. He's certainly in field goal range by Monteperto. We'll see how much he presses the issue. Reminder, he's got 3 big body receivers in Caldwell, Goddard at the tight end position, and Sluka. And Sluka's already got a Moss-esque catch down the sidelines, and Caldwell's got a touchdown today, and Goddard a couple of seam routes that have gone for good yardage. So we'll see who they dial up here. It is Caldwell and Sluka are the outside receivers. Manna and Lamage are in at the slots. Cam Mesh in the backfield with Casella.
It's like who you want to cover.
Pick your poison here if you're Fisher.
4 solid receivers in the game right now.
And there it is, the Manna, and nothing doing there. And Manna is furious he doesn't have a flag there. He just kind of got shoved out of bounds by the defender. But
okay, I'm going with a little hand fighting for the ball, but I don't even think 31 even.
Isaiah Bretz didn't even turn his head.
I don't even think he turned his head at all. So
3rd and 8 here, and the only thing I can think there, Mario, maybe they called it uncatchable. Maybe they just decided it didn't matter who.
Yeah, perhaps.
3rd and 8 here, Casella, same formation. 4 wide with Mesh to his left. Casella, he's looking at Sluka this time. Fade route to Sluka, Nolan Sluka! As easy as can be, up and over number 23. Jake Storin was in coverage, and Nolan Sluka didn't care who was in coverage. He went up and brought that one in. What a ball from Casella. That was from 17 yards out, and all of a sudden Brockport's up 27-0 here.
Well, the 5'8" corner didn't work. The 6'1" corner didn't work.
What
What a beautiful pass. Yeah, what a beautiful pass by Casella.
I think at this point you hope, if you're a defensive back for Fisher, you hope that they're just tired of throwing it in the second half. Monteperto, kick is up and kick is good. Good job by Dan Giangrasso to dig that one out of the turf. That looked like a low snap. He still got it down for Monteperto to kick it through. It's 28-0 here. Brockport all over the St. John Fisher Cardinals in the 19th annual Courage Bowl. They're playing for the Teddy Trophy. Brockport's brought it home the last 6 years. They're trying to make it number 7 and trying to make 7-3 overall in the matchups. So scoring plays today, we got Isaiah Simmons from 9 yards out. We've got Isaiah Simmons from 60 yards out. We've got Brian Caldwell from 19 yards out from Gasella. And Gasella, spreading the wealth, finds Nolan Sluka from 17 yards out to make it 28-0. And Mario, we didn't talk about it yet, but the injury on the Mike Talbert interception, it was a Fisher injury, and that was Cam Chance. So potentially big-time injury. We'll see. He was able to get up and walk off under his own power, but they're already seemingly without
their 2 starting running
Peyton
backs.
Nolan, and now if Cam Chance is significantly injured, I don't even know. I only have it 2 deep, so I don't know who the third running back is. And muffed kick, and
well, I mean, they're just.
it just goes from bad to worse if you're, because now you got this Brockport defense that are.
Well, I don't think you run a play here.
I don't
You're
think
26.
you can. Yeah, I mean this Brockport defense, they're ready to pin their ears back.
Yeah, I think
Fisher
you
takes
take a
over
couple
from
kneels.
their own
You go in, you try to evaluate Chance, and try to evaluate Nolan, and basically, what are you going to try to do to climb out of this 28-point hole? Do you come in here and you say, okay, listen, we're going to play some of these younger guys, give them some experience here at Brockport, playing against this level of competition, or are you just going to be?
So it is not Chance in right now. It's number 3 Deontay Hall in at running back for Fisher. So they're going to kneel this one down, and thought you might see a little gamesmanship from Coach Mangoni with a timeout there, but he decides to let this one go into halftime, content to be up 28-0. So Brockport all over the St. John Fisher Cardinals to open this one. That's the end of the first half. Last shout out to our sponsor, Lattimore Physical Therapy and Sports Rehab. Make sure you give them, check them out if you've got some physical therapy needs, LattimorePT.com. They've got locations all over the Rochester area. Brockport leading 28-0 here. We're going to head to halftime. Make sure you stick with us on the other side. It'll be a break for half, but we'll be back here for the second half as the Brockport Golden Eagles Game of the Week here on Rock Sports Network, brought to you by Bob Johnson Auto Group.
Sculpted lines, impressive hardware, aggressive stance. It can only mean one thing. 'Tis the season to get out and tailgate. Right now at every Bob Johnson, buy any new or used truck, we'll throw in a Mafia-ready folding table absolutely free. Bob Johnson, this is where the savings are.
Bob Johnson.
While we celebrate 140 years of serving our community, the kind of delicious joy that lasts a lifetime, we look forward to serving you for 140 more. With hardworking, wholehearted, passionate people who will help shape new memories for generations to come.
Customize your great plate every Tuesday at Bill Gray's with hot dogs, cheeseburgers, mac salad, home fries, beans, tots, and more. Bill Gray's Great Plate Tuesdays, only $9.99.
Gimme, Bill Gray's.
If you're living with pain or recovering from surgery and don't know where to start, Lattimore Physical Therapy can help. The Lattimore Promise includes an individual diagnosis with a highly trained licensed physical therapist on your first visit, a personalized treatment plan, communication with your doctor, and a continued personal care plan. You're never more than minutes away from pain relief. Visit LattimorePT.com.
Lattimore Physical Therapy.
Bob Johnson doesn't have deals on flower pots, but we have the very best deals on new cars, trucks, and SUVs. Best inventory, best service, best pricing, best people. Bob Johnson, this is where the savings are.
Bob Johnson.
Bob Johnson.
Whether it was Dad letting you grill for the first time, or Grandpa taking you out to a ball game, or even a summer picnic before the fireworks on the 4th of July, Zweigel's has created generations of memories that shape who we are and what our community has become.
Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the field for the 2024 Father Joe Lazzalaco Memorial Award presentation. This award is presented to people who are an excellent example of courage, strength, and determination to all of the children and families served by Camp Good Days at special times. The two recipients of this year's award are Charles Salina and Michael Lawandis, who exemplify the spirit of this award through their courageous actions and unwavering commitment to making a difference. Charles Salina has been serving the Rochester community as the United States Marshal for the Western District of New York since 2011. His courage is reflected through his dedication to helping build a safer and stronger community. Michael Lawandis served the Rochester community for a number of years as the ATF resident agent in charge at the Rochester field office before retiring. His courage shined through his leadership and enduring commitment to building a more united and protected community. Congratulations to both of these incredible individuals. Please join us in giving them a well-deserved round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, as we continue our halftime activities, we will turn our attention down to the field once again. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for the Brockport dance team.
Sometimes you gotta pop out and show them. Certified breaking man, I'm the one that up the score with him. Walking down the whole time, I know he got some on him. Hold on him, extra. What he got on him? Wah, 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 wah. Down the world, wah, 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 wah. I'm a big star. Why you trying like a, ain't you tired? Trying to strike a chord, and it's probably A minor. Every green grass in the stage, 'cause somebody's getting paid.
Ladies and gentlemen, again, give it up for the Brockport dance team.
You can bank on the go, anywhere you go, with answers just a phone call away. It's banking that fits.
Ladies and gentlemen, please turn your attention down at the 50-yard line for your Brockport cheerleaders. Again, ladies and gentlemen, your Brockport cheerleaders.
When you can bank on the go, anywhere you go, with answers just a phone call away. It's banking that fits your life. Banking on the go from people that you know. That's Canandaigua National Bank and Trust, investing in you.
sculpted lines, impressive hardware, aggressive stance. It can only mean one thing. 'Tis the season to get out and tailgate. Right now at every Bob Johnson, buy any new or used truck, we'll throw in a Mafia-ready folding table absolutely free. Bob Johnson, this is where the savings are.
Bob Johnson.
While we celebrate 140 years of serving our community, the kind of delicious joy that lasts a lifetime, we look forward to serving you for 140 more. With hardworking, wholehearted, passionate people who will help shape new memories for generations to come.
Customize your great plate every Tuesday at Bill Gray's with hot dogs, cheeseburgers, mac salad, home fries, beans, tots, and more. Bill Gray's Great Plate Tuesdays, only $9.99.
Gimme, Bill Gray's.
If you're living with pain or recovering from surgery and don't know where to start, Lattimore Physical Therapy can help. The Lattimore Promise includes an individual diagnosis with a highly trained licensed physical therapist on your first visit, a personalized treatment plan, communication with your doctor, and a continued personal care plan. You're never more than minutes away from pain relief. Visit LattimorePT.com.
Lattimore Physical Therapy.
Honey, who's got the best deal on
Bob Johnson?
flower pots? The best deal on flower pots.
Bob Johnson doesn't have deals on flower pots, but we have the very best deals on new cars, trucks, and SUVs. Best inventory, best service, best pricing, best people. Bob Johnson, this is where the savings are.
Bob Johnson.
Bob Johnson!
Whether it was Dad letting you grill for the first time, or Grandpa taking you out to a ball game, or even a summer picnic before the fireworks on the 4th of July, Zweigels has created generations of memories that shape who we are and what our community has become.
All right, we are back here at Bob Boozer Field, Eunice Kennedy Shriver Stadium, where the Brockport Golden Eagles are leading St. John Fisher Cardinals 28-0 here in the 19th annual Courage Bowl. And Mario, looking at the stat sheet for the first half, just, you know, up and down, no matter how you slice these stats, just a complete dominant effort here by the Golden Eagles.
Yeah, what you'd expect from a 28-0 game at halftime, except for the one thing that we talked about at the onset, Fisher's winning the time of possession.
287 total yards of offense for Brockport, only 85 for Fisher. Isaiah Simmons leading the way on the ground, 12 carries, 110 yards with 2 touchdowns. Ben Gasella at the quarterback position, 9 of 15, 165 yards, 2 touchdowns. On the other side, the passing offense for Fisher, Puff Sledding, 4 for 12, 46 yards, 2 interceptions for Ryan Whitney. Camden Chance leading the way on the ground, 10 for 32. And it'll be interesting to see which running back we see available here in the second half. Both starting running backs for Fisher had injuries, so kick away, and it's going to go for a touchback here as Fisher set to take over from their own 30-yard line to start this drive.
Looks like the senior Deontay Hall is going to stay in there, number 3.
Scoring touchdown or scoring plays today with 5 minutes left in the first quarter. Isaiah Simmons from 9 yards out, 33 seconds. 4.5 minutes later, 33 seconds left in the first quarter. Isaiah Simmons goes 60 yards for a touchdown, and then Brockport breaks the scoring in the second quarter as well. 8:34 left. Brian Caldwell, a 24-yard pass from Ben Gasella, and 27 seconds left in the half. Nolan Sluka from 16 yards out from Gasella. So Hall's gonna get the fake, and he gets a shot, and Whitney keeps it. Whitney for 3 yards on that one to open the half here. So Fisher down to their 3rd string running back at this point.
Yeah, I mean, well, at this point, you're down two running backs who were both averaging 5 yards a carry, and you're starting wide receiver.
Yeah.
So you got to try to have some patchwork that happened in that 20 minutes at the halftime.
Peyton Nolan, the running back for Fisher, who started the game, took a shot from from Friedman, Luca Friedman, early in the first quarter, first drive, and he knocked him out of the game. And then Chance was hurt on an interception play by Talbert. Talbert returned it for a long gain, and Chance took a shot during the play, and he's been out since then. So again, it's Deontay Hall who is into the game. Andre Marionetti with a sack that time on Whitney, and that's loss of 2. That's going to bring up 3rd and 9 here for the Cardinals, already facing a 3rd down.
You know, say what you want about this St. John Fisher offense. Obviously, a lack of production in the first half and losing a lot of great players. Whitney doesn't really get happy feet back there.
No,
like he
doesn't panic.
He's trying to do a few things here and there with this offense that he's been given, and he's just falling short a little bit.
Fisher 2 for 7 on 3rd down so far today. Whitney breaks a tackle in the backfield. He's going to look to uncork one. He's got a man down there, and it is caught over Malik Kelly. That's number 4 on the catch there for St. John Fisher. That's Evan DeLutis. Big gain there for Fisher.
Points it out, too. Like I said, he doesn't get too rattled back there. Sophomore quarterback, obviously has experience playing against Brockport last year.
I tell you, Murray, DeLutis was behind Kelly on that one. If Whitney would have been able to get something underneath that one, that would have been a long touchdown. Instead, it's just a big gain inside the 35 to 32-yard line.
Yeah, St. John Fisher 12 yards away from actually getting into the red zone for the first time today.
Only 9 times in their first 3 games have they been in the red zone, and that one thrown to nowhere. That was Carter Verdrani was the nearest receiver, but that ball was nowhere close to him. 2nd and 10 here for the Cardinals.
Second down to 10.
If you're Vosburg, Ryan, come into the second half, you have your 2 top running backs down. Are you more prone to pass it in the second half, or try to see if you can get your 3rd string running back a few touches here and there?
Yeah, I think they're going to try and run the ball still a little bit. That's, seems to be their base offense. And just like that, there's Hall that gets the handoff and nowhere to go there. Mike Talbert got a chance to say hello for the first time to Hall. So that's a loss of 4 on the play. Going to bring up 3rd and 13.
Well, we are in October, Ryan. You know, everyone loves doing those jump scares. That's Talbert's version of a jump scare. He came from nowhere and just wrapped up Hall in the backfield.
Yeah, I think best case scenario here for Fisher is you get some kind of momentum going. Again, this is opening Empire 8 play for both these teams. So Brockport, one of the best teams in Empire 8. Fisher, maybe in the second half, they can get something going. They can carry some momentum into the rest of conference play. That ball over the middle, and nice catch there. That's DeLutis again. And that's going to be a 1st down just across the sticks.
The chain mover, DeLutis.
DeLutis came into the second half leading receiver for Fisher, 2 for 25, and he's up to 4 catches.
The graduate from Rome, New York, ladies and gentlemen, not Italy.
So Hall in the pistol formation here behind Whitney. Verdrani goes in motion there. Sorry, that was Kennedy that was in motion, and they're going to get Fisher on the false start. And again, this is the second time you see this from this Fisher offense. They get, a big play, they get a 1st down, and all of a sudden they're heading back 5 yards again. Untimely penalties. 11-16 here. 15 left in the 3rd quarter early in this second half. Fisher trying to get themselves back into this football game in their first possession of the second half. Whitney, and he's going to hand it to Hall, and Hall out across the 25, and he's going to get 4 out of the 5 on the penalty back, met by a host of Golden Eagles.
In on the stop, number 55, Andre
Marionetti in on the tackle there. Wholesale changes for the Golden Eagles defense.
Just like we always talk about it, Ryan. Game within a game. 10:33 left in the 3rd quarter. Your first possession. You got 11 yards to get a first down. You're 4 down territory. You're down 20.
Absolutely.
I mean, try something here. You have a field goal kicker who's 0 for 4 on the year. You're going 4 down territory here.
Single one-on-one at the top of the formation there, something to keep an eye on. And they're going to go the other way, and he's got DeLutis, and DeLutis unable to bring that one in. Luca Friedman going stride for stride with him. That's tough to match up with him. That's your outside linebacker going stride for stride with your slot receiver, but I think Whitney probably wanted to throw that a little sooner, so he wasn't up against the back of the end zone on that. It's almost like a right now, hit the back of your drop and throw.
Yes.
He waited just a smidge too long there.
And that's perfectly fine. You're on second down. You want to take a shot.
Yep.
If you know you're going for it on fourth down. But,
now
you got
to try to get half,
You got to try to get half,
Yep.
yeah. You got to try to at least get down to the 16, 17-yard line and give yourself a shot on fourth down.
Whitney takes the snap. Pressure coming. Breaks a tackle. And
yeah, you're not getting away
guess
from him.
what? Guess who? With one hand, Mike Talbert brings him down.
That's one of those ones where you're rolling to your right, you see 52, or anybody for that matter, but 52, you throw that into the yard marker.
Yeah, you throw that to the visiting fans.
Oh, absolutely.
To your fans out there in the.
You give a Courage Bowl souvenir to the fans out there.
Chuck that one to the cheap seats like you're Josh Allen.
Yeah, you gotta because
you know you're going for it on fourth down. You can't put yourself in a position where now it's 4th and 21 or 4th and 16. Oh, a lot of pressure. There's Mike Talbert again. He came like a rocket up the middle. Did Mike Talbert. He is making a case for Empire 8 Defensive Player of the Week this week. Boy, oh boy.
Literally all over the field. And 4th and 16. The closest that they've gotten so far, what do you think Fox is going to do? Engage 8?
I mean, that's a Mike Fox special there. That blitz right up the middle, and they let the worst guy on the defense come untouched, and that's in Mike Talbert. Whitney had no shot at that one. That was what they refer to as a jailbreak blitz.
Absolutely.
So here's Gasella, first look at him in the second half, and they've got Simmons, quick pitch to the right, and patient running, and wrapped up and brought down. That's number 8 on the tackle there for Fisher. That's Jabari Oxley. Nice tackle down the line there.
And you know, we talk about, like we said, you got Mesh, you got Fontana Rosa, you got Simmons. What you don't want to do is break, certain routines that you have, getting ready for the second half of game. You're not always going to be leading 28-0 at the half. So comes out, starting with Simmons, slowly but surely he'll work in a couple of the other running backs as well.
Gasella throws to Goddard. It's been a common theme today. Goddard already with 2 catches for 38 yards. He adds another there for 10. So that's going to bring up 3rd and 1 for the Golden Eagles.
I'll tell you, Brett came up to make that tackle, and it was a pretty sweet tackle that he made, but he looked like
interesting to keep an eye on here. Cam Mesh checks in, and he's going to set up in that slot,
that H-back,
that second tight end position. They're going to run a little oopsie reverse there for Cam Mesh, who they're going to get him. I think they're going to get an illegal formation here against Brockport.
Yeah.
And Coach Mangoni thinks it's against Fisher, so we'll see what the call is.
Neutral zone.
So that one, number 2, lined up off sides there. That's DeAndre Green. Green had that near side responsibility of Mesh. Detilio checks into the game here for Brockport, so the dual threat quarterback does have a pass attempt today, which is first of the season, I believe. That one's just fake to Simmons, lowers his shoulder and takes a shot. Wrapped up by the safety, number 31, Isaiah Bretz, and number 94, Jeremy Woodcock, comes and finishes him off.
Yeah, Bretz has been all over the field today as well.
2nd and 8 here as Detilio stays in the game. A little miscommunication there. Mana trying to figure out whether he's beyond the field or not. 12 seconds left on the play clock. They're going to have to hurry here. Coach Mangone, even though they're up 28-0, I'm sure he does not want to burn a timeout this early in the second half.
Oh, no.
There's the fake, and Messia and Detilio just drags him with him. All right, you talked about the size of Messia, 6'3", going on 6'4", and Detilio just dragged him like 3 yards after initial contact.
The one thing that Messia did was when he wrapped him, he had his legs go dead, and Detilio's didn't.
So wing formation here for Brockport, different look. And there's Mana who flares. Detilio looks to throw, and Detilio just lowers his shoulder right over Brett's, and that's going to be enough for a first down here. So Ethan Detilio showing a little aggressive running.
I love that play call. The lineman literally, you let the fake do the blocking for you, and you just seal it off. And he was able to run around the right side.
Third quarterback today, it's Soper who's going to check into the game here. Chase Soper checks in for Detilio. Interesting thing with Soper, he's a straight running quarterback.
Absolutely.
Detilio can throw when he needs to throw. Soper is just a straight running quarterback. So we'll see.
I'm going to tell him you said that when we go down in the field. Yeah, right. Graduate.
Picks up a flag here, Brockport does. Talk about it. I think they initially called delay of game, but the back judge, I think, is weighing in here.
Yeah, Soper's a graduate, and he's very comfortable in that role that he has. But you know what, though? It seems like this Brockport offense, with the change of quarterbacks so frequently, I would expect more offsides with the cadence being different. There's not much difference.
Yeah. So they pick up the flag, decide not to flag Brockport for delay of game. Soper in with Simmons in the backfield with him. Soper, and he's going to give it to Simmons around the left side, turns the corner, and Simmons lowers his shoulder a couple times. What a run there by Isaiah Simmons, boy. That's enough for a first down.
You know, most of the time, and this is why Mangone is so brilliant and who he decides to bring into Brockport. You have 2 touchdowns. You have over 100 yards rushing. You know, most guys, I'm going to go out of bounds here. You know, lowers his shoulder. He's like fighting like it's the first down for them to go to the national championship game.
Soper out, Detilio in. Mesh also in at running back, and Mesh is going to get the carry here. Nope, Detilio keeps it. Detilio around the edge, and he lowers his shoulder. And now there's an injured Cardinal after Detilio initiates some contact on the run. That's number 7.
Trenton Sherman.
So that is going to bring up a 1st and 10 here for the Golden Eagles. As they tend to the injured Cardinal. Opportunity for our shout out to our second half sponsor, Bill Gray's Restaurant and Tap Rooms. Bill Gray's every Tuesday is Great Plate Tuesday at Bill Gray's. 2 Bill Gray's cheeseburgers on top of home fries and mac salad with meat hot sauce. $9.99 every Tuesday is Great Plate Tuesday at Bill Gray's. Gimme Bill Gray's. So 5:11 here left in this third quarter.
So let me ask you this, Ryan. If you're Mesh, Simmons, Fontana Rosa, any other running back that plays for Brockport, when Detilio or Soper come in, do you think you're getting the ball?
No. Detilio still in here with Mesh to his right.
Oh, student body right.
And big shot there as Messia comes in and finishes things off. Another Cardinal down. That's number 50.
It's Jaquan Davis.
So Davis is down, and he pops back up, but he's going to head to the sideline. This is a tough drive here by Brockport, kind of grinding it out here, and then they thought they were done. Gasella in, and now Detilio back in. So as soon as that Fisher defense thought they were going to get a break from the physicality, they get Detilio, who checks back in the game.
Brian, you know I'll always give props to the offensive line because of the work that they're doing down in the trenches. But can we give a shout out to 44 Joe Motz a little bit?
Motz definitely getting his money's worth today. Detilio is going to look to throw, but hemmed in, and good job of getting rid of that one. We'll see if they mark him out of bounds or if they did say he got rid of it. And I think they're going to, yep, they are going to call it incomplete. So no harm, no foul there. Going to bring up 3rd and 7 here for Brockport.
Now, we talked about on the other side of the ball with Fisher, 4-down territory. Not the same for Brockport here?
No, I think you can probably give
kick
your
a field goal
kicker an opportunity to
okay.
bang one in here if you can. Mesh in the backfield here, and he's going to fake it to Mesh, and Detilio fights his way to
There it is. There it is, late hit.
And a flag to finish things off here.
It was either going to be a face mask or he literally, like about 2 or 3 yards out of bounds, threw Detilio into the ground.
So we'll see what the call is here. Detilio checks out, Soper in. I think they're trying to figure out, is it late hit or is it a face mask, which one to give. So they're going to get Brett's for unsportsmanlike conduct, and that's going to be half the distance, and Brockport's set up at their 3.
Does it matter for live ball or dead ball foul if once you're that close? It's still half the distance,
Still
correct?
half the distance.
Okay.
Here's Soper, and he fakes the handoff, buries his head, and Chase Soper is wrapped up. Nothing really there, maybe a yard.
Chase Soper, the ball carrier.
Soper still in here with Mesh to his left. We'll see Brockport trying to punch it in to make it a 35-0 game. 2nd and goal. Quick pitch to Mesh, who lowers his shoulder, and he's met. Misha on the tackle. Loss of 1, so Fisher defense trying to make a stand here on 3rd and goal. And Coach Mangoni brings in Gasella. We'll see if they try to throw it this close to the end zone.
They're taking a lot of time off the clock.
Absolutely.
So far in this drive, even though if it was a shortened drive, they started at their own 40.
3 minutes left in this 3rd quarter. So now we're going to get a timeout here. I think Fisher, well, actually, Coach Mangoni's going to take a timeout here, so it's a timeout Brockport. Another opportunity here to give our sponsors a shout out. Bob Johnson Auto Group, and Bob Johnson has over 20 dealerships all over New York State. If you're looking for a new car, truck, or SUV, make sure you give them a look, as they will find something that works for you. BobJohnsonAutoGroup.com. And our second half sponsor, Bill Gray's Restaurant and Tap Room. Make sure you check them out as well. Great Plate Tuesday every Tuesday at Bill Gray's. 2 Bill Gray's cheeseburgers on top of home fries and mac salad with the Bill Gray's famous meat hot sauce. Great Plate Tuesday every Tuesday. Gimme, gimme, gimme Bill Gray's.
I'm going to get you to sing it one of these weeks. It's going to happen. So Gasella comes out with this 3rd and short, give the illusion of maybe a throw.
Sure.
I think what they do
Or
is they
they
spread
may
them
throw
out.
it.
Or they may throw it. Yeah. I mean, they've enjoyed some success, but one of the things you do, I mean, up 28. I mean, if you're up 28 throwing with 3 minutes left in the 3rd quarter, it's just.
Oh, they're going to get, there's going to be a false start there. Not sure who they'll get. There were a few different Golden Eagles that were jumping early.
He did it on purpose.
Going to be charged to Liam Malgieri, the left guard.
Sluka wanted more room.
When in
in
doubt,
the back of the end
you know,
zone.
when in doubt, give it to the lineman, right? Sluka jumped too. It looked like, you know, maybe Casella was leaning forward a little bit, but why not tack it on to the big guy up front?
Yeah,
3rd and goal here. Casella from his own 8, or sorry, from the Fisher 8. We'll see if he can get in the end zone. 4 wide with Mesh to his right. He is going to throw it, and that's 2, right? Oh, what an interception. Nice play there. He tried to find Lamage, and instead, that was Bretz who jumped in front of that one. Isaiah Bretz read that slant the whole way. They just tried to run a double slant, and I thought maybe he should have gone to Sluka on the follow, but tried to find Lamage from the slot, and Bretz jumped in front of that one.
It looked like Casella, as soon as he took the snap from the ball, looked that way, which tipped his hand, and which why wouldn't you think he's looking Sluka's way anyway?
Right,
so.
right.
The safety might have been already been tilted that way anyway.
So now Fisher with an opportunity here. 2:55 left in this 3rd quarter. They got to strike fast, but they are going to try to strike here if they can.
We're going to go with no back.
Cam Chance does check back into the game. He's the lower receiver down here. The empty formation, but Chance back in, which is big for Fisher, as we hadn't seen him yet in the second half. And Whitney's going to take it, and Whitney doesn't have quite the same success as DiTilio did when he lowers his shoulder.
Whitney on the quarterback keeper.
I tell you though, Chance is back out there, but you can tell he's ginger. He's walking slow.
Yeah.
He's, you know, you can tell he's not quite 100%. But
well, I mean, what do you expect, Ryan? DiTilio has to go against defense 4 days a week.
That's right.
Whitney only has to do it once.
Continuing to run here, 2nd and 8 after the run by Whitney, and Chance sets up in the pistol formation behind him. Now he's going to motion to the outside. Brockport line adjusts accordingly.
Moving zone.
Whitney looks to throw. He's going to throw across the middle, and that's caught. That's DeLuca.
Yep.
Or DeLutis.
And it's the little things, right? You motion Chance out. You saw that the cornerback bumped out to Chance. You know it's zone. What are you going to do? Let me find my zone breaker in DeLutis, who just settled in there, and they were able to get a nice gain out of it.
So 3rd and 1 here for Fisher. They're trying to extend their drive.
Fisher got a snowplow? I mean, Buffalo does go there for preseason. I was curious.
Heavy formation here for Whitney. He's going to send a man in motion. They're going to fake the handoff. Nice fake there. Whitney keeps it around the edge, and he's going to be chased out of bounds by Ben Robinson. So 1st down for Fisher as they convert for the first time in the second half.
Oh, that was a beautiful play call.
It was.
I liked it.
They had everybody going left. Whitney did a nice fake, kept it going right.
Yeah, the over-aggressiveness of the defense, who hasn't been on the field a lot in the second half. So played to Fisher's advantage there.
1 minute left here in this 3rd quarter. Whitney looks to throw. He's got his man, and that is DeLutis, and DeLutis is brought down. That's number 9 on the tackle for Brockport, Aiden Thomas.
Well, now DeLutis is limping.
Only a 5-yard gain for DeLutis. Surprised, Mario. I mean, you know, I know you're down 28, big lead, but I wonder why there's no urgency from Fisher here. You know, you maybe try to run your 4-minute offense if anything, try to get some work in here.
Yeah, I mean it's nearing the end of the 3rd quarter. This is probably gonna be the last play of the quarter if you do run one, which Fisher looks like they're going to.
Big pressure in front of Whitney, and that's one-hopped, incomplete pass intended for Michael White. That was one, Mario. You went to throw to the outside. You saw Kelly coming and tried to pull it back, and instead just kind of turfed it.
Yeah, it could be one of those things where he wants to give his team some work against a really good defense, but as far as the urgency goes, trying to overcome a 28-point deficit in one quarter is.
Whitney to throw, pressure in his face. He's going to dump it to Chance, and Chance bounces off the tackle by Aiden Thomas, and he fights forward. I think he's going to get enough for a first down. He's right at the sticks.
That's the end of the third.
Now there's a Golden Eagle defender down. That's the end of the third quarter here.
It's Fenor.
So Daywin Fenor got caught up in that tackle there. So that is enough for a first down for Fisher. So they're going to keep the momentum going as they head into the fourth quarter. So Mario, as you're heading into the fourth quarter here, if you're Brockport, you're up 28-0. You know, I know Coach Fox loves to pitch those shutouts, but you're also getting ready to continue Empire 8 play or bye weeks behind you. So there's got to be some thought by Mangoni in the back of his head, you know, injury concerns, right?
Yeah.
Especially as you see Fanor get caught up in that one. Gotta start rotating guys out.
Yeah, that could be a reminder too. And you know, we talked about it too. The two completely different teams coming into this week as far as Brockport coming out of the bye, getting some guys healthy in there. And Fisher, we don't know the mentality of the team after coming off of that devastating loss to Wilkes. So it could be one of those things you say, why are they moving so lethargically out there? Maybe this is a team that just needs to hit the reset button on their own terms.
Yeah.
But yeah, I totally agree with you. I think some players are going to get worked in within this series or the next series for Mike Fox's defense.
Yeah, I mean, and you could be thinking there's a deep shot by Fisher. He's got DeLutis down there, unable to come down with it. He had DeLutis, and DeLutis got his hands on it, unable to bring it in, though. Jameer Clark breaks that one up.
We saw DeLutis go out a couple plays before that limping, so maybe he was a little too concerned with his legs and didn't have his full focus on the ball.
2nd and 10 here. Yeah, I mean, if you're Fisher, maybe you're just thinking if we can get points or get into the end zone, that's something to hang your hat on against this Brockport defense. They are clicking on all cylinders today as Brockport. Whitney's going to look to throw. He goes to scramble and bounces off of a tackler, and he bends down, and guess who? That's Aiden Thomas, who says, "You're too little to be lowering your shoulder on me." So, but Whitney, hey, credit to him. I mean, he's refusing to throw him away when he probably should today, but he'll never be able to call him anything but a gamer, that's for sure.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you learn a lot about yourself when you play against these top flight defenses and you get knocked around a little bit. You definitely learn about it. And plays like that, when you watch it Monday in the film room, he's got 5 guys in front of him now that are going to dive anywhere for him.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Pistol formation here, and there's Mike Talbert again. I think that's number 3 for him today.
Another 3rd down, double A-gap blitz dialed up by Mike Fox.
Yeah, so I think that's the 3rd or 4th sack for Talbert to go along with an interception.
How many? What hasn't he done today? Like, he's got a tackle, obviously an assisted tackle, a pick.
He hasn't returned a punt yet. But,
he returns a punt with one arm. I'm leaving.
Cam Mesh back to return this one. He's standing at his own 25-yard line, and Farewell back to kick this one away. Nice kick there by Farewell. Backs Mesh up to his own 22-yard line, out across the 25. He's going to try and turn the corner, cuts back, and finally decides to lower his shoulder at the 30, and that's where they're going to mark him down. Good coverage there by the Fisher special teams unit to hem Mesh in. So 13-16 here left in the fourth quarter. And looks like starting offense is going to trot back onto the field here. It's Casella and Simmons. So Brockport not taking the foot off the gas quite yet. 28-0 here. Golden Eagles, they can take over from their own 30-yard line. They're going to hand it to Simmons, who's tripped up.
Oh, he's mad.
Oh, so yeah, Simmons wanted that one, boy. He was tripped up. That was, looked like Misha who tripped him up.
Yeah, he may have had like 15 or 20 more at least on that one, but yeah, like you said before, another staple that we're not usually seeing from Mangoni is the fact that he still has the starters in there in the fourth quarter. 12:46 left, up 28 points. So maybe he still wants to knock a little bit more of that rust off from the bye week, from the first half.
So 12:35 here left in the fourth quarter. Casella with Simmons to his right. And back to Simmons, and he's going to pick up the first down. Gain of 3 on the play, out to the 42-yard line. Brockport, not only are they leaving their starters out there, they're not huddling. They're kind of going they're going to their regular pace offense.
Yeah, this is usually the one where you're like, okay, if someone start the car, I'll wait till there's 5 seconds left on the clock before I snap the ball.
Tim Lewis checks in. First time we've seen him today at his tight end position. Casella takes a snap, and he's going to give it to Simmons, who turns the corner on the right side, and Isaiah Simmons lowers his shoulder. Another 9 yards for Isaiah Simmons.
Tough 9 yards.
Isaiah Simmons, the ball carrier. Being done on the play. Entering into
so it's been all Isaiah Simmons today for the Golden Eagles. Not much mesh and no Fontana Rosa so far today. $11:15 left in this fourth quarter. Brockport leading 28-0, trying to pick up a first down here, 2nd and 1. Casella's going to throw. He throws down the seam. It's tipped and almost intercepted. He was looking for Caldwell there.
Just dropped his elbow a little bit. The pass went a little high.
DeAndre Green off his hands there. Probably wants that one back, I think.
Yeah.
Hit him right in the hands.
I mean, there have been times in this game where I've seen Casella. He looks like he's in rhythm. He looks like he's in the flow of the game and this and that. And there's just some plays like that where it's like, is it because it's 28-0? He's a little disinterested, or you always used to hear the old stories that Madden used to say about Stabler, right?
Yeah.
If the game was really close, he was zoned in. If the game was 28-0, he can call a play in the huddle and forget it by the time he got to the line. So I don't know if that's what's happening with Casella today.
Casella's going to give it to Simmons, and Simmons with a little nifty move, and Simmons turns the corner. Isaiah Simmons down the sideline, finally brought out of bounds. Number 57. That's Alex Hoffman who finally chases him down. Isaiah Simmons tried to make another house call. That one would have been from 49 yards out. Instead, it's a nice gain, a 30-yard variety there for Isaiah Simmons, and he's pushing 200 yards today. Looks like in the backfield. Nope, that's Gino Fontana Rosa. First look at him, a little cutback, and Gino Fontana Rosa, a 9-yard carry on his first touch of the game. So Gino checks in.
Senior out of Lewiston, New York. Finally getting his first game action with 10-12 left in the fourth quarter.
I think you and I talked about that. He's wound up the leading rusher for Lewiston.
Oh, yeah.
By the time he was done.
Oh, yeah.
You'll notice Fontana Rosa, he's like runs like Isaiah Pacheco.
Pacheco-ish, yes, very.
There's Gino again, who looks for a cutback lane, finally lowers his shoulder. He picks up 3, so it's going to be enough for a first down.
I remember when we were talking about Fontana Rosa during his freshman year. He would get offended if you didn't have anybody in front of him to hit.
Yeah.
I'm not running out of bounds. Let me hit somebody, please.
Fontana Rosa out, Simmons back in. They're looking to give the hat trick to Simmons today if they can. First and goal from the 7-yard line here for Brockport. Long possession here for Brockport as they're trying to finish this one off. Casella fakes, throws. That's Sluka. That was easy. Nolan Sluka with his second of the day on the slant route.
Looked very similar to the first down pass that got almost knocked down.
It almost looked like Fisher just didn't even think they were going to throw it.
Oh yeah, obviously, yeah. I mean that's one of the elements that you have when you take out Fontana Rose, you put Simmons back in. Okay, this is what they're going to do. They're going to try to run this ball in. They're going to try to run the clock down.
Second touchdown catch for Nolan Sluka. Second time that it came at the expense of Jake Storin. Monteperto is going to bang it through, so that makes it 35-0 here, Brockport. It's been all Brockport today.
So I got to get your take on this, Ryan. Those of you watching on Facebook or YouTube, put this in the chat. I'm curious about this. 28-0, fourth quarter. You throw for another touchdown. Is that more on the defense? Hey, stop us, or is this on the offense of saying maybe you shouldn't do that? Like what? What's your take on that?
I think it's on the defense. I mean, it was clear from the start of that drive that I think Mangoni wanted to get one more sustained drive from his offense and finish it with points. Keep in mind, they didn't have a touchdown in the second half to that point. So I think he wanted to get, probably one last good possession from his offense. I expect to see the majority of the next offensive possession be backups for Brockport. I would, he may try to get Gino in, maybe get him some more work. He's clearly been kind of trying to work him back into this offense, and one last good possession from his offense, and he's going to call it a day.
So do you think that if he got that in the third quarter, he would have called it in?
You would have seen the backups a lot sooner. He would have gotten a good drive out of his offense. But don't forget, they almost had the opportunity.
He threw that pick,
He threw the pick in the end zone. So
you didn't want to leave
that.
You didn't want to leave that taste in Casella's mouth. Like the last drive we had, he threw a pick.
Nice return here, out across the 20. There's a flag down, so that's going to stunt the Fisher chance a little bit here, as they're going to start a little further back. 9 minutes on the dot left here in the fourth quarter. Brockport leading 35-0 after the Casella to Sluka 7-yard touchdown.
Yeah, and this is usually the time that we see here at Bob Boozer Field, not so much more pressure dialed up by Fox, but you see like an untimely turnover that gets taken to the house. Not saying that can't happen here, but St. John Fisher hasn't pushed all day. They haven't pressed all day. So I don't, unless they do it this drive, I don't see.
Here's the wholesale changes on Brockport defense. It's all the second and third unit that's checking in here. They're going to see if they can hold off. It's the second flag today that has been an odd flag. I don't know how you do block in the back on the kicking team. Just earlier in the game, Fisher got called for a hold when they were the ones punting downfield. So a couple of interesting calls there from the officials in today's game.
We get a few of those a game here. It's always very interesting.
That's right. So I think this is Brody Vincenzi who's checking in here for Fisher. And they're going to send Hall in motion. So now we've got the second string on both sides trying to get some work here. Vincenzi looking for some room to run and nothing doing there. The Brockport defense swarming. That was, and it comes out of the pile there.
Actually, Whitney's still in.
On the quarterback keeper, no gain on the play. Second down.
Little stinger for the Brockport defender. Comes out. That was number 43 who came out of the pile, Colton Thorpe, who came out holding his left arm.
Sends Hall in motion. Whitney with 5 receivers set.
Second and 10. They're going to look to throw. Seam route and broken up. Nice play. Oh, they caught it. What a catch there.
Wow.
Looked like it was going to get broken up. That was number 33 in coverage for Brockport. That was Liam Neely, but instead, nifty snag.
Fell harmless onto the chest of James Kennedy.
That's a look what I found kind of catch for Kennedy.
What was that? Was that the Greg Jennings catch for the Packers?
It looked like, yeah. Neely looked like he was going to pick that. Instead, pops it up in the air, and it falls to the turf. Whitney takes the snap, pressure coming off his left side. He finds his man across the middle. That's number 89, Kennedy, across the middle. So James Kennedy kicking some life into this Fisher offense.
I got to tell you, though, Ryan, I know he's down 35-0, but that linebacker was screaming off the edge. Nobody blocked him, and he stood in that pocket to deliver to the tight end. Normally you get those quarterbacks to try to do that pirouette, try to get around him, but he knew he was open, so stood in there and delivered it. Excellent throw.
7:05 here left in this game. Brockport leading 35-0. Fisher trying to get a positive end to a drive here for the first time today. They're knocking on the red zone door, and there's Whitney, who looks to throw and finally keeps it. And Whitney, little toe tapper there, and Brockport says, well, if the line of scrimmage was a 21 and he threw it from the 20, how does that work? So we'll see if there's a
illegal forward pass. Probably.
Yeah, I think so. He threw it. He was ahead of the line, so. Yeah, so it's going to be a 5-yard penalty plus a loss of down.
I mean, you like
Whitney.
the idea. You like the idea because he had a wide receiver who was getting covered. So if he faked the run, they would come up and get him. Makes sense, but a little too far over the line.
So 6:44 here left. 2nd and 15 from their 26-yard line of the Golden Eagles. And Fisher yet to get into the red zone today. They've only been there 9 times on the season. There's Whitney and throw across the middle, and that's DeLutis, and DeLutis gets into the red zone. That's going to be down to the 17-yard line. So nice little 8-yard pickup there for Fisher.
First time Fisher in the red zone today?
First time today, yeah. First time they've been in the red zone today. Timeout here is going to bring up 3rd and 5 for Fisher. You got to think you're in 4-down territory.
Oh,
here.
absolutely.
Cardinals down 35 points. You want to try and finish strong here, and the official timeout as an injured Golden Eagle makes his way to the sideline. It looks like that's Dave Thomas, I think, on the injury.
So 6:36 left. We got about a 3rd and 6 from the 18-yard line for St. John Fisher. Just trying to put something positive, into, put a score in the end zone, something before they have to go next week.
Motion here. Now Brockport wants a timeout. They want to talk about this one before we see it. We're going to take a quick break here. We'll be back for the rest of this 4th quarter on the Rock Sports Network Golden Eagles Game of the Week.
Sculpted lines, impressive hardware, aggressive stance. It can only mean one thing. 'Tis the season to get out and tailgate. Right now at every Bob Johnson, buy any new or used truck, we'll throw in a Mafia-ready folding table absolutely free. Bob Johnson, this is where the savings are.
Bob Johnson.
Customize your great plate every Tuesday at Bill Gray's with hot dogs, cheeseburgers, mac salad, home fries, beans, tots, and more. Bill Gray's Great Plate Tuesdays, only $9.99.
Gimme, 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 Bill Gray.
In the heart of Brockport, call make your reservations at 58A Barbecue today.
All right, we're back here as the Fisher Cardinals are set to give it their try on 3rd and 7 from the Golden Eagle 17-yard line. They're knocking on the door here, and looks like we've got some motion coming here, and Whitney's going to look to throw, and he's wrapped up by a number of defenders, and he fumbles the ball. Recovered by Fisher. That's going to bring up 4th and 11. So right on time, Mario. Coach Mike Fox dials up the pressure on 3rd down.
Yep.
Oh yeah,
he can't change up his play calling, even though they got some backups in there right now.
So Fisher trying to get some momentum here. They're going to Hilbert next week. Hilbert, the new addition to the Empire 8 this season. So their first look at Fisher is going to be next week. Get them in Hamburg. 4th down here for Fisher, last opportunity, and that's thrown. Nice catch, but they say no. He was out of bounds.
Oh.
And that's going to be a turnover on downs there. That looked like it was a nice little pitch and catch, but couldn't quite get his feet down. So here comes Brockport again. So after Hilbert, Fisher's got Hartwick, and then they got to head to Cortland this season to face the defending national champion Red Dragons. Brockport on the other side here. They've got Fisher. They're heading to Hartwick next week for the high-flying Hawks. Then they follow it up at Hilbert. And their next home game is going to be Morrisville here on October 26th before Halloween. They then head to Utica, and finally, senior day here for Brockport is going to be those Red Dragons are going to come into Brockport. That's going to be quite the matchup here. And looked like that was a fumbled snap there for Brockport.
Yeah, very rarely under center. You know, not too many snaps for Brockport get taken out under center.
Tilio fumbled that snap. Fresh offensive line. You wonder if that had something to do with the exchange. Coming to 5 minutes here left in this game. Ethan DeTilio in the game here with Cam Mesh in the backfield as wholesale changes across the rest of the offensive front for Brockport, including some new receivers in the game. They're going to do a quick pitch there to Mesh, who bounces back to the middle.
That's the ball carrier. Gain of 2 on the play.
First look at number 84, Isaiah Madry, who's in the game, lower half of the screen here for the Golden Eagles, as well as number 83, Kai Tran, who's at the top of the formation at the wide receiver position. First time all game, it's Caldwell and Sluka have checked out. 4:20 left here, 3rd and 9 for the Golden Eagles. Tilio checks one more time, fakes the handoff, and whole lot of pressure coming for him. Stiff arms, and he finally gets it away to Mesh. Mesh bounces off a man, and Cam Mesh turns something into nothing. Converts on 3rd down. That's going to be 1st down Golden Eagles. What a play by Mesh.
Yeah, and DeTilio to get out of that trouble.
DeTilio with a stiff arm. The pressure and rolls to his right, finds Mesh, and Mesh bounced off the intended tackler, and Fontana Rosa checks into the game here. And they're going to give it to Gino, who wrapped up and brought down after a 3-yard gain out to the 40-yard line. Going to bring up 2nd and 7 here for Brockport.
Second down.
DeTilio takes a look to the sideline. He gets the call from the Red Hat Brigade down there, the Golden Eagles quarterback crew. Back to Gino, who patient, finally cuts up the middle, drags a defender with him out across the 45 to the 46-yard line. He's going to be a yard shy of the 1st down. And
yeah, and this is operation. It's 2 minutes and 36 seconds left. They get this 1st down, and then we'll get our victory formation, and then we'll see you guys in a couple weeks.
So we'll see one more snap here ahead of the 2-minute warning. 3rd and 1. DeTilio trying to get an easy 1st down, but Fisher's going to stay disciplined. Here's to Fontana Rosa, who almost, boy, he wanted that one. Brought down, that was number 50 on the tackle for Fisher. I mean, I tell you what, Mario, Jaquan Davis with that tackle there. Fontana Rosa might have been off to the races if Davis hadn't grabbed him. That brings us to the 2-minute warning. And it is 35-0 here. It is 35-0 here, Brockport. And a reminder, next 2 weeks on the road for the Golden Eagles, and we'll be back here in 3 weeks' time as they take on Hartwick at home on October 26th. So good showing here if you're Brockport. Definitely Coach Mangoni has a lot to be happy about. Michael Rendy checking into the game here at quarterback, number 9 for the Golden Eagles. A lot of changes also checking into the game. Number 31 is Kaiseen Springer. We've seen some juice out of him. He's gotten some run so far this season. Tyler Ronk also checks in at wide receiver. They're gonna fake it to Springer, and nice keep there by Rendy.
Yeah. Springer with some very big shoes to fill back there wearing that jersey.
That's true, that's true. That's Jolly Code's former number 31, one of the better running backs we've seen here at Brockport. Still owns the NCAA Division III record most carries in a game in that bowl game here that we had. I think he was 46 carries before the game was all said and done, and that game was 3 yards in a cloud of dust about the whole time. 122, clock continues to run here. Brockport fakes it, and Rendy keeps it. It's going to be enough for a first down.
Quarterback keeper.
So Brockport's going to move to 3-1 on the season. Fisher falls to 1-3. Two teams going in opposite directions here. Brockport trying to
finally 1-0 in Empire 8.
Empire 8 plays. Victory formation time here for Brockport. And that's going to finish things off here. A lot of injuries for the Fisher Cardinals, and looks like Brockport comes out of this thing relatively healthy as Isaiah Simmons, it was the Isaiah Simmons show today. 2 touchdowns. Nolan Sluka with a pair of receiving touchdowns. Brian Caldwell adds a receiving touchdown. So Ben Gasella with one of the better games of his Golden Eagle career, finishes with only 1 interception, 3 touchdowns. And Brockport led wire to wire. It was Isaiah Simmons from 9 yards out on the second Brockport drive, and that was the last time the game was close after that, Mario.
Yep. Very impressive by Brockport today.
So Brockport takes home the Teddy Trophy for the 7th year in a row. They are now 7-3 in the Courage Bowl against St. John Fisher. Fisher still has not beaten this Brockport team since 2016. And Brockport next year, they'll be heading to Growley Stadium where they'll take on Fisher in the 20th annual Courage Bowl. So that'll do it for us today. The Rock Sports Network Golden Eagles Game of the Week. For Mario Granata, I'm Ryan Lasel. We'll see you in 3 weeks here as Brockport returns home after a 2-week road stint. And we'll be back on the 26th, noon kickoff, as the Golden Eagle Game of the Week, brought to you by Bob Johnson Auto Group, returns. Thanks for tuning in with us today, and Brockport finishes things off 35-0. And we'll see you in a few weeks. Thanks again for joining us. The Rock Sports Network Golden Eagles Game of the Week, brought to you by Bob Johnson Auto Group.